Welcome back. Here's the Kovacs report, and we have an absolute boatload of reviews to get through this week. So we will be reviewing Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I think. We are going to kick off today with an Age of Revelation tie-in, the Omega Kids #1, which on paper, well, this is digital, but you know what I mean. On paper, the idea sounds very, very interesting for mutant children's psychic powers being harnessed against the population. Very, very cool. Now, I'm going to go through it page by page. There will be spoilers, so do read the book beforehand. If not spoiled, like the video if you can. And if you're new, hit that subscribe button. It makes a huge world of difference to me, and I'd really, really appreciate it. And you get these little videos in your subscription feed. Yes, you are lucky, and I'm lucky. We all win. Now, so far, Age of Revelation's main book and the one-shots that tied into it been pretty good. I'm actually kind of enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. The tie-ins, they're a bit of a mixed bunch. There's a couple of gems in there, really, but you've really got to polish them up to shine, if you know what I mean. So, Omega Kids #1. Tony Fleecs, great writer. Andrés Genolet on the art. And the art's okay in the book. Yeah, it looks good. It fits the bill. I've got no complaints there. Now, let's look at the cast. We've got Quentin Quire. Now, Quentin Quire, if you don't already know, is also known in sort of mainline Marvel Comics, Kid Omega. And he is a sort of a very, very powerful mutant. He was created by Grant Morrison and Frank Quietly way back in New X-Men 134, which would be 2002. So he's been around a while. And he sort of started off as a rebellious teenage student at the Xavier Institute for Higher Learning. Now, he's adopted by Professor Charles Xavier. He's inspired by Charles's vision of a human-mutant coexistence. Now, Quire quickly became a sort of disruptive force. He embraced anarchism, and he dyed his hair pink after discovering he was adopted, and that led him to form the punk-inspired Omega Gang and challenge authority figures like Emma Frost. Now, he is classified as an Omega-level mutant, which means he is like one of the most powerful mutants in Marvel Comics. He is an exceptional telepath, so it makes sense that he would maybe be in charge of all these other telepaths, these other psychic children. Now, all these children are brand new. They are introduced in this issue. So you've got Curtis Terrell Jr., Nell Widows, Ayla Boskurt, and Bailey Quinn, my favorite, because she is badass. So let's get into it. Well, kicking off, it talks about the babeled. Now, the babeled are it says here, dissenters, protesters, and those found guilty of spreading ungrateful thought in the Revelation territories. Their language and ability to communicate have been stripped from their minds. They live a tragic existence, unable to communicate with any other living creature. So that's what Doug Ramsey, a.k.a. Revelation, a.k.a. the Heir of Apocalypse, does to anyone who disagrees or stands up against his vision. Now, we see this child here who looks like he's pretty much one of these babbles, as they are called, and the parents are discussing it, and they are very, very worried about the way the world is going in these new times. But one of them has a mission, because she maybe wants to change what's going on in this world. And she's getting ready. She says goodbye to her husband, and they're both. You can feel that they're both worried about the outcome. And we see all these other members of the population all leaving their loved ones to go off to meet together. Now, this is a secret mission. No one knows who else is part of the mission. No one knows what the mission is. All they know is to be somewhere at a certain time. As you can see, they're all getting ready. Now, at first, I wasn't sure what was going on here, but you can see this mutant at the bottom here, sort of erecting some kind of tarpaulin made out of, or rather looking like sort of camouflage, basically. It looks like the green, which has overtaken quite a lot of the city now that Revelation has taken over during the last 10 years. And we jump to these kiddies here. Okay, and this explains that we don't know the target, just a location, time. The less we know, the less there is for his psychics to overhear. When I get to my location, someone will have left a package. It's a relay. The package is psychically tagged. Right. Now, listen, in this panel here, I thought, what was this little squiggly here? As you can see down here, I'm not sure if you can see it, but by her arm here, there's this weird sort of glitch. And I was like, is that supposed to be there? But it comes into play later on. Anyway, she says, when I touch it, I'll know my 3 steps. And you see them all counting down. On this guy, it looks like he's sort of, I think he's making some kind of camouflage. Okay, the other ones are climbing or getting ready into place. And these kids are rushing faster, faster. It says everyone gets there. Everyone gets 3, only 3. That way, even if they do catch on, the job will be done before they show up to scramble us. We know as little of the plan as possible. So each of the moving parts knows enough to do their part in the mission, but no one knows enough to know what's going on. But this particular lady here, she has a rifle, and it's her job to assassinate none other than Revelation. And she has a moment there where she thinks of her kids and what has been done to him by Revelation and all that emotion. And again, you see that weird little glitch above her head on this right-hand page here as she fires. Then suddenly everything goes glitched out and she's back at home in her garden and she's choking. And you hear some psychic voices. Go ahead and shut off her breathing. And you watch as her husband runs over. He's not sure what's going on. And then we jump to the Revelation territories in Philadelphia, where the headquarters of Revelation is, and the start of all of this X-Virus and Age of Revelation. And there's Quentin Quire with his little gang of Omega kids. Look at them. Now, I always love when they do this messed up stuff with kids. You know, it's in movies and the horror movie and the kid comes out and the eyes are all weird. It's always more terrifying because it's a child. And they're watching this woman die as her husband fails to resuscitate her. Okay, now that's pretty dark, right? These young children are killing people. And Quentin Quire is the group leader here. You can see he's been training them. And we introduce each of the kids and we find out what their abilities are and their ages. 14 years, 15 years, 16, and Bailey Quinn, 8. Now, Bailey, she's no nonsense. Now, the others, you know, they're sort of what you expect from a kids that are doing what they're doing. But she's kind of cutthroat. She's like, I got the job done, right? She doesn't fuck about. I really, really like this kid. But he says, you did something wrong. He says, you did something wrong. But what did they do wrong? Well, the fact of the matter is that they were never on this mission in real life. No, they were in some psychic construct that the kids had conceived in their minds, okay, to find out what that plan was before they went out and did it to prevent it. And that's what I find really, really interesting. It's kind of Matrix-esque sort of will where they threw them in to let them go through the plan so they know exactly what the plan is so they can eliminate them and stop what's going on. I thought that was pretty dark. I really did like that. Anyway, he says, listen, you did something wrong. And what it was those glitches. He says if anyone in their mindscape, their psychic mindscape, had sort of spotted those glitches, they would have maybe realized that they're not actually doing what they're doing and they're trapped in some kind of mind game and maybe they wouldn't have revealed their plan or done something differently. So you've got to work harder. You know, that sort of imaginary world you're creating has to be perfect, absolutely perfect. Anyway, one of the kids says, you know, I'm sorry, it's my fault, you know. But I lose my concentration a bit when I'm hungry. So he decides to help the kids out and go get them some food where he bumps into Phoebe Cuckoo, one of the 3 Cuckoo sisters, as you're probably well aware of in the X-Men comics. I always love the idea of those cuckoos, Emma Frost cuckoos. They're brilliant. So he's preparing food and he's having a chat with them. And she's discussing, you know, these are children. Should we really be doing this? Is it the right thing to do? And he's like, yes, it is. You know, we were young X-Men when we were started training. She says, yeah, but, you know, we were training algebra. You know, we were training sort of normal things. These kids are killing. They're killing other mutants, you know, at this age. And she's I think she's finding it a little bit difficult to sort of, add that up in her head, whether it's right or wrong. But of course, they are all, you know, under the power of Revelation. He's cool with it. He says he knows what he's doing. And she's kind of worried. She kind of senses maybe something isn't quite right with all of this. But he's adamant that everything is perfectly okay. He's got it all under control. Now, at this point, I was thinking, where is this book going, you know? We've had a very, very long explanation about this mindscape and what's going on. But we spent, you know, an hour in the kitchen making a sandwich. But it pulled it back in. It was really, really well done. Now, he gives the kids the food and they start talking in a very private psychic scape, the secret place they call it. And we find out that it's not only dissidents and resistance people that get sent to this weird, very weird, fake psychic world. But so's Quentin Quire. He's trapped in there too, and he doesn't even realize it. These kids, they have their own plan. And I really, really like the twist. Now, yes, you could say, well, we would have seen that coming. Everyone knows it was going that way. But you know what? I went this comic completely relaxed and thought, let's just give these Age of Revelation books another go. And to be honest, I thoroughly enjoyed it. The art was cracking. And this Bailey kid here, she is brutal. She is brutal. The kids say, hey, you know, be careful because he might hear us. You know, Mr. Quire is going to find out. And she's like, let him. I don't mind. I'll kill everyone. I really, really like this little badass mutant kid. I really hope she becomes something more than just, a minor character in a little mini series here. I hope something happens with her. She's fantastic. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought the art was really nice. It was colored well. Everything's pretty good. So, I think this is a hit. It's definitely a hit for me. Be interested to know what you think of this Omega Kids. Number 1 is a thumbs up. So we've got a thumbs up book. Now, last week I made some other videos and I was getting pretty down. I'll be honest, I wasn't myself with how bad some of the previews are for these books. But this has picked me back up. I'm really excited again. So there we go. Those, as usual, are my thoughts. Do let me know yours. Did you pick it up? Did you enjoy it? What do you think is going to happen? Who's your favourite kid? And that's weird to say, but you know what I mean. What's your favourite character in this book? Let me know in the comments. We'll have a little chit chat and we'll catch you in the next video.